Alright guys, so welcome to part 3 of my series of video guides about Fahkumram, and in this video we're gonna cover Fahkumram's key pokes and strings. If you've watched part 1, which was the character overview video, we mentioned that one of Fahkumram's strengths is his ridiculous amount of string variations, which come off as extensions of his main pokes. And that is also the reason why his pokes become very good. The extensions alone are enough to put mental stress on the opponent, with them having to constantly guess what extension is about to come next. So by poking with Fahkumram alone, you may find people freezing up a lot, not wanting to press buttons. With them freezing up, you can then take advantage of this by creating more mind games. Let us begin with Fahkumram's 1-2 string. So 1-2 is Fahkumram's main 10-frame jab string to initiate basic offense. The string itself is only -2 on block, so Fahkumram is still pretty much good after this. Only that you gotta remember that your next attack will come out 2 frames slower. But do not worry about that too much, because Fahkumram can really hurt opponents who mash after the 1-2 with the extensions. So 1-2-4 is the first extension to catch smashers. The 4 extension is just Fahkumram's plain magic 4, done as an extension of 1-2. The 4 itself alone is not going to do you much if you don't further commit to its follow-up hits. So to get a combo, you need to do the full extension, which is 1-2-4-3-4. While the reward is very good, remember that the 4 can still get ducked, and you may still get launched. And this is when the next extension comes in. 1-2-1-4 is a mid-mid extension and is the safer one to use. The 3rd and 4th hits themselves are very delayable and can cause a lot of hesitation. What's even better is that it is possible to hit confirm this move. So for example, you can just do the string up to the 3rd hit, and if you see the 3rd hit connect, then you can do the 4th hit. The string itself is also semi-safe, with the 3rd hit being only at -10 and the 4th hit being only at -11. And most characters can only do jabs to punish -10 and -11. Down forward 1 is Fahkumram's 13-frame down forward 1. The hitbox for this move is really good because it extends all the way up. It tracks only to Fahkumram's left side, and on block it is -3. So that's not too bad, but it still ends your turn. But of course this has extensions to deter the opponent from pressing buttons. Down forward 1-2 is the high extension. It is also -3 on block like the first hit, but if this hits, this puts Fahkumram at +6. This also, by the way, happens to be Fahkumram's 13-frame punish for opponents who recover crouching. Down forward 1-4 is the mid alternative in case they want to duck down forward 1-2. Sadly, this is not a natural combo on regular hit, but it is on counter hit. The 4 extension itself is just Fahkumram's forward 4 done off at down forward 1. And because it is also homing and also shares the same extensions as a forward 4. The extensions are the following. Down forward 1-4-3-2 is the low hell sweep option. Of course, if they block either the low or the last hit, the opponent is guaranteed a free launcher. But if you land this at a certain distance from the wall, this is gonna cause a wall splat. Down forward 1-4-1 is the mid elbow option. It forces crouch both on block and hit. If you hit this, Fahkumram is put out a good +7. But on block, it got nerfed into -3, so we gotta live with that. This also happens to be a counter hit launcher as an added bonus. Be sure to make them respect the down forward 1 first, before using these 2 extensions. And the reason for that is because they can interrupt both the extensions with a fast counter hitting move. These two extensions are best used once your opponent has learned to respect either down forward 1-2 or down forward 1-4, which is, you'll know that when they don't want to press buttons after a down forward 1. Fahkumram standing free is the reason why I like to call him ostrich legs. So to give you a good idea on how good the range of this move is, the very tip of Fahkumram's toes will tag a Hachi after a blocked demon uppercut. So there we go. Despite its very good range, it doesn't track very well to both sides at all. But on hit, it does provide a juicy +5. And on block, it is -6, but do not worry because the opponent has all the right reasons to respect this move's extensions. So let us start with free 1. Free 1 is the high jab extension, and of course, this is duckable. This is only -3 on block, but again, it has more extensions to keep them guessing. Free 1 has a high extension in free 1-2. This is neutral and has pushback on block. It doesn't do anything on counter hit, however, but it is +8 whenever you hit it. And free 1-4-4 is a double mid extension. If you land the third hit, then the fourth hit is guaranteed. And what's good about this is that you can delay both of the two last hits. So you can still play mind games all the way up to the third hit. But keep in mind that the third hit is still -13 on block. And to not get it punished, you gotta do the fourth hit, but that's also -14 on block. But the good thing about the fourth hit is that it wall splats, and this becomes very oppressive at the wall. Free 1 down 4 is the low extension, which is just Fahkumram's down 4 done off a free 1, and because it is, it also has the same properties as a down 4. It also gives that +10 on counter hit, and it also is launch punishable on block at -16. And on hit, this will end Fahkumram's turn being at -5. So really, this low extension is not really that great. It's just there to bother the opponent if they like stand blocking too much. And also, this being launch punishable also gives them more incentive to duck, so you can then open them up with free 1-4-4. Any of these three extensions, free 1-2, free 1-4-4, and free 1 down 4, become guaranteed should the 1 of free 1 lands as a counter hit. But of course, the only way to punish these three options is to duck the second hit, because that is what they all have in common, which is a duckable second hit. So for Fahkumram to stop them from ducking free 1, he has two ways to do so. One way is to use free 4, which is the only mid extension of the three. If you land the 4, then Fahkumram is guaranteed a free 4-4-2-1 for even bigger damage. Or you could do the Rage Drive instead if you have Rage. The whole string free 4 itself is also a natural combo on counter hit, so you can use this as a 13-frame counter hit move that can also wall splat people. Note that this is safer to use than a down forward 1-4 in terms of being a 13-frame counter hitting string. This is only -12 on block compared to down forward 1-4 being -13. And now the other way to stop them from ducking free 1 is to do 3-4-4. Now this move feigns the knee of free 4 into a +6 on block, homing high screw launcher. And how this works is that if they try to punish free 1 by doing a punisher too early, then the delayed timing of 3-4-4 will catch them on their way up. So one way that they can beat the 3-4-4 is by ducking and doing a delayed punish. But in turn, if you do 3-1 or 3-1 with the extensions, their punisher will be too late. So how this works is really a timing-based mix-up. Makes them think, should I duck and punish early to beat 3-1? Or should I duck and punish late to beat 3-4-4? Or should I not duck at all because I don't want to eat 3-4? So yeah, that's how that works. But wait, we still have yet another option. And these options never end, as you can see. We have 3-4-3. This one is just an option to stop them from ducking 344. We will go more in depth with this once we get into Fahkumram's charge mechanic, also known as gimmick. And I will have to leave that for another video. And of course I really want to end this part now, but we still have Fahkumram's low rage drive. And that can also be done out of the 3-4 by doing 3-4 3+4, in which Fahkumram will now feign the knee of 3-4 into a low launcher. This yet again adds another low option of Fahkumram's 3 strings whenever he has rage. We will go more in depth with this again in another video. Okay, so we go to the next poke, down forward 4. It kinda looks and works the same as Fahkumram's repoke. It's also a kick that has some range. It is slower at 16 frames, but this one has better tracking, because it does track to Fahkumram's weak side, which is to his right side. The extensions that come from it are much more simple compared to what we saw that the 3 can do. First is we have down forward 4-3. It is a natural combo, and this is what makes it a very good wall splatting move. The 3 itself can be ducked, but that is when the next extension comes in. We have down forward 4-3-3. The mid knocks down into a free forward 1+2. And if it's blocked, it puts Fahkumram at +1, so he can then frame trap with either 1-1 or 1-4. And because this cannot be ducked, the only way to punish this is by stepping the second hit. But that's when they can get tagged with a down 4-3 instead. So that's how it works. So we're not gonna end this video without talking about lows. So for lows, Fahkumram has 3 main lows that he can switch through, depending on the situation. None of these lows is a high crush whatsoever, and that is one of Fahkumram's weaknesses, which is the lack of high crush moves. But these lows all have their pros and cons, and you should not just stick to using only one of these lows. So for the first low, we have down 4. This is the fastest low among the 3, coming out at 14 frames. On counter hit, this gives a good +10 with a little bit of pushback, so it then puts Fahkumram at a good position to mix the opponent up. And among the 3, this also has the best tracking, being able to track to both sides. But the bad thing about this is not only that it has the shortest range among the 3, it also has the worst frames on block and on hit. This is launch punishable on block at -16, and on hit it puts Fahkumram at -5, so it is actually the opponent's turn. So for the next low, we have down back 4, and this is Fahkumram's version of a hatchet kick. This one is the slowest among the 3, coming out at 21 frames, but it does put Fahkumram at a pretty good +5 on hit, while also forcing the opponent into a crouch. However, it does have pushback, so the opponent can just easily backdash away from some of the follow-up moves. But that's a different story once they're at the wall, where you can mix them up as freely as you want. And this is also -14 on block, so quite a handful of characters that have 14 frame or faster while standing launchers can still launch this on block. And now we go to down forward 3. In terms of safety, this is only -12 on block, so this is the low that you would want to use against those characters with 14 frame or faster while standing launchers. And now in terms of range, this has the best range among the 3 lows, and with tracking, it only tracks to Fahkumram's left side, so it only tracks one way, and not the other way. But that's better than nothing. Alright people, so that's it for this video. Stay tuned for the next video, we still have a lot more to cover. And yes, special thanks to the patrons who keep supporting this channel. Thank you very much. Peace out.